Hello to anybody that starts watching this. My name is Lisa, and I am basically a medical nightmare. I have a range of different autoimmune diseases. I just had a bit of a panic attack today because I've got type 1 diabetes. But the whole reason I came onto the carnivore diet was because of my MS, which is my main autoimmune disease. I don't really think about the other ones that much because my MS is so much bigger than any of the others. So I do obviously was taking insulin, and I get my A1C done. My A1C was it was averaging around 6.1, but the last time I got it done, I think it was like 7. I must have gone off the rails a little bit. I was just so tired from my MS. I was just really struggling. And I saw this video of this lady on YouTube that my husband showed me when we were in bed, and it just blew my mind what she was saying. And I've had such a rough road with my MS. Yeah, I won't get into all of it, but yeah, crazy. Like the treatments, all the interferon treatments, and then going on to Mavenclad caused my immune system to go so low that I got a melanoma, and then I had to have that surgically removed whilst I was awake. And I've had a lot of surgeries. I think that's probably one of the most traumatizing surgeries I've had done because I was awake through the whole thing. And I had to have my 3rd cervical spinal fusion done within 12 weeks. 12 weeks after starting. No, I had it done before I started the Mavenclad because I needed to heal from that before starting the Mavenclad. So I had the spinal fusion done. Then 8 weeks after the surgery, I was allowed to start taking the Mavenclad, which is like a chemotherapy-based treatment for MS. But then a certain number of weeks into it, when my lymphocytes dropped to 0, I got the melanoma immediately, and now I'm not allowed on any autoimmune treatments at all. I wasn't going to go into all of that, but I just pours out of me. What can I say? So my main thing at the moment, I've gone from being 100% consumed with trying to use the carnivore diet to help me with my MS because I can't go onto any treatments. But I didn't realize that it was going to impact my type 1 diabetes so much. And now I'm really confused as to what I'm doing with that because I've just taken a ketone stick. I didn't even really know what they do. I've never used them before. I've had it sitting in my drawer long over 6 months, which it says on the thing to use it within 6 months. But I was just having such a panic attack because I went onto Google and I saw that everything I was reading was so bad. Yeah, I feel like I had a panic attack or something because I've been on the carnivore diet for 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks, say. And previously, my insulin that I was taking 16, probably, no, really 18. I was taking 18 units for breakfast, lunch, and then I was taking at least 16 units of Nova Rapid with my afternoon tea. So I was taking about 16 to 18 units 4 times a day of Nova Rapid with my meals. And I was taking 18 units of insulin at night, my 24-hour one, Lantus. So I worked it out. I think it was like 90 units combined. And within weeks of going on the carnivore diet, my sugar is so low that I can't take insulin. But then I was reading, if you don't take insulin on type 1 diabetes, you can die. You die within 24 to 48 hours. Well, I've been doing that for 2 weeks and I'm clearly not dead. But I did have a panic attack and I've just drank a cappuccino so that I could take insulin because I'm so worried about it not being in my system. Clearly, I'm confused. Nothing that I say can be taken as medical advice because I do not know what I'm talking about, clearly. Um, I'm going to go and see my doctor tomorrow. I don't want to see my endocrinologist because I already scared her the last time I saw her because I was in COVID and I'd had all that surgery and I got the melanoma and I just never got my A1C done for like 2 years or something. And she thought it was going to be really horrific and it was 6.1. So she's probably still recovering from the fact that I just didn't ignore. I ignored my whole type 1 diabetes thing. I was monitoring my sugars and I was doing what I needed to do, but my MS is my number one autoimmune disease. My Hashimoto's and my Graves' disease. If I have to go into hospital, I just go in and I do that. I'm not really taking the meds for that. I should be, but I'm just not. I got a rash from the carbamazole one. And then Anyway, so yeah, I don't understand what it means if you're type 1. Everything I'm reading says no, if you're type 1, you have to be on insulin, and you can get that DKA thing, which I'm pretty sure is I know that's what I had to start with. I very suddenly I was on Weight Watchers at the time, and I had been seeing my awesome neurologist. I'd always got a lot of blood tests and my sugar was always normal. And then I suddenly got really ill. And because I've got so many conditions, I was completely confused. My specialists are always confused. Always, always, always. I'm a medical nightmare every time I go and see them. My neurologist had a nervous breakdown when I got diagnosed with type 1 in the hospital. They did blood tests. My sugar was over 30. And I was having trouble walking, and I had a doctor actually walk me to emergency at Royal North Shore in Sydney, because I was so ill. And they almost let me go from the hospital. They said nothing was wrong, and then they did my sugar and it was over 30, and they said, okay, you're not going home. You're not going home. The endocrinologist told me that he'd sent off blood tests to get some GAD antibodies. This is from my memory. GAD antibodies tested, and that he was certain that they would come back, that I did have GAD antibodies, and that was the case. And that he believed, due to the fact that I had Hashimoto's, type 1 diabetes, Hashimoto's, MS, Raynaud's, mainly Hashimoto's and Graves' disease. It constantly switches between the two. I had Hashimoto's for about 15 years, Graves' disease before that, and when it switched over. And then my latest being admitted into hospital, not my latest, but one of the ones before that, I couldn't walk, and I was obviously thinking it's my MS that was causing that. And then they said, no, it's Hashimoto's. No, hold on. They said it was Graves' disease. See, I get so confused. I don't even know which one's which, but it's the fast one, the one that makes your body go really fast. It switched to that one. And so I was like, well, that's ridiculous. I haven't had that for like 15 years. And they said, we've never seen that before. You've just changed from one to the other. Graves' disease. I think I switched to Graves' disease. So my main question is, even though I'm going to go to the doctor, I'm not coming off of Carnivore, but does anybody else have type 1 diabetes and is not taking any insulin? I can't take insulin if my sugar is 5 when I go to bed. My sugar before I go to sleep has always got to be 7 when I'm on insulin, which I'm not. I can't take the insulin because my sugar is just stable. It's flatlined. It is literally, I'm not even joking, it's 5.5. Sometimes it goes up to 6, but then it comes back down again. Before I go to bed, I check it. I'm literally checking it more since coming off all the insulin because I'm worried. I'm more worried since coming off the insulin because I don't really know what I'm doing. I've taken this keto stick. I don't even know what this means. I don't know what that means, but it's very dark. It's never been that color before. It's always a cream color. I don't know if that means something bad. I don't know. I'm going to have to Google that. But I just wanted to do a post because I don't know what I'm doing. And okay, so I'm on the carnivore diet. I'm eating a piece of steak for dinner. I'm eating salmon because I know salmon's got omega-3 fish oils, and I'm thinking that's good for me, and I just can't be choking down beef constantly. I just can't do that. So I'm having salmon and salmon and an egg for breakfast. And then I can't eat anything. And then I have dinner and I have a piece of steak. I'm having omelets. I'm having eggs. I was having milk. I have had milk again today. I completely came off the milk. I came off the milk. I came off the cream because I know that's not good for me. And my stomach is telling me right now it's not good for me. But as I said, I went into panic mode because I haven't had any insulin. So I took the milk. It's lactose-free milk, and I think it's got a bit of sugar in it. I don't know. I have only had half a cup. So that I could take a little bit of insulin, because I read that you can go into DKA, and you can even go into DKA with low insulin. I read that. And I just had a panic attack because I really don't know what I'm doing. And everything I've read everywhere says that type 1 diabetes, you have to have insulin. But if my sugar it's not going up. It's not going up and down. Before I was on the carnivore diet, it was like a roller coaster. I'm not even joking. I would have breakfast and it would go up to like 10. So, and one other thing, I'm not on the carnivore diet to lose weight. Okay? I'm just going to say that. I'm not. It's absolutely not why I went on the carnivore diet. But I lost 3.5 kilos in the first 2 weeks, and now I haven't lost any since. Even though I cut out milk and cream, I don't understand why I haven't lost any weight in the last 2 weeks. I'm very upset about that, even though that is not my main thing. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's things that have disappeared. All my muscle spasms in my legs has disappeared. I didn't even think that could be a thing that would. I've had things just that I didn't even think about. My MS hug. I don't even want to say it out loud. Touch wood. My MS hug has gone away. I was on Valium for 15 years. Diazepam, 5 milligrams every night, because it would feel like I was being stabbed through the back, and I would literally be catapulted back into the couch. And I'm not on that. I'm not getting the MS hug. I've got the medication in case it happens, but it hasn't happened. That just disappeared. I have real issues with my memory, so I can't remember the other things that have just disappeared. I don't even realize things have disappeared. I have issues with rosacea. That has not disappeared. When I eat a piece of meat, which is always, I have grass-fed, because of my allergies with my eyes. I'm getting grass-fed because I'm thinking that that's, like my kids told me, that's the best thing to do. I'm living in a house full of geniuses, so yeah. I'm going grass-fed. So I have Scotch fillet steak. I'm not sure what you call it in America, but in Sydney, that's what we call it, Scotch fillet. I go for a good 300 grams for my dinner, and then for my breakfast, I might have 3 eggs, nothing else in it. I might have 2 rashers of bacon. I've bought Carnivore sausages, beef ones, which are, there's not much happening in them. They're all right, but they're not gold. And that's pretty much what I'm having every day. A piece of steak for dinner. And when I say dinner, I'm like 4 o'clock I'm eating, and then I'm not eating until 11 o'clock the next day, which my husband's and my sons are really not happy about. But I can't be taking insulin because my insulin is not high. But I don't want to die from not having insulin. So I really, really would love to know if there's anybody out there who's type 1. Did the hospital make a mistake? Am I not type 1? Even though they told me, I got a letter saying I was type 1. and that I had GAD antibodies and that I was type 1 diabetic. I am, yeah. I don't even know what's happening. If when I go to see my doctor, he's gonna first of all, he's gonna freak. He's gonna freak when I say I'm not been on any insulin for over a week. I had to slowly bring it down because, we don't wanna muck around with insulin. So I slowly brought it down. Well, it wasn't actually slowly, I halved it because I was not having any carbs. But then gradually, then I had to stop all my Lantus, and then gradually, I stopped my Nova Rapid because anyway, I'm repeating myself. So that's my situation, and that's all for now. I'm going to go and see my doctor tomorrow and see what he says. I know he's going to make me get a load of blood tests, and my cholesterol is probably going to come back high after 3 weeks. He's probably going to want me to go on tablets, which, from what Dr. Berry says, that's not ideal. But I'm not coming off the carnivore diet because I feel like this is my chance. This is my chance for my MS, and I'm running out of time because I only did one course of the Mavenclad, which is cladribine. So I think the most people were good on it for was like 3 years, but I only did 1 year on it, and it's a 2-year thing. But because I got the melanoma, that was it. No, that's it. Never. I've got a really bad family history of melanomas. Like they all died. It's not good. So yeah. So it's a nightmare. So I can't go any treatment for my MS. My early days of MS were relapsing every 8 weeks. I was in hospital. I was steroided up to the high hills. Methylprednisolone, 1,000 milligrams a day. My sugar would just go through the roof from that. And basically I was on Rebif, I was on Avonex, I was on the intramuscular injections from hell. I had a particle of dust that went underneath the needle and set up an infection in my stomach. And I had necrosis for weeks, and I didn't even know that's what that was. And then finally I showed my doctor and he said, "You've got to go straight to hospital." And I went to emergency, and I didn't even have to wait 11 hours. They walked me straight through, which was concerning. That's never happened before. When I've had pneumonia and I've literally been lacking in oxygen, I've had to wait 11 hours to go through. So yeah, this is just a basic rundown of just a few things that I've gone through. And as I said, if anyone can give me some idea what they might think about what I'm saying, other than therapy, I would be eternally grateful. Okay, thank you. Bye.